don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat love. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Who be that? I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Kanye we na akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ simele nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa ka anyị na-ebe ka ude ka anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe eme ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete mazụ nya ha sọgụtụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise mma dịrị gị Chineke mma dịrị gị Chineke.
Are you still fighting the struggle to have independence for Biafra?
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets. We are fighting in terms of our agitation. We are fighting in terms of our belief. We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free, because we're not free. As a free people, we can afford to make life better for our people. Right now, we can't do that because of how Nigeria is structured, and because of the very flawed foundations upon which Nigeria rests.
You called for a referendum latest this year, November, you said, I think.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, what's the way forward? Because the way it looks like the government will definitely not agree to that.
Then there'll be no elections in Biafra land. No more elections here. They can put whoever they like in office. They can do whatever they like with their political positions. We will not engage in any political process.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but there are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful struggle?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it? Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They'll be killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview now wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released. Yes. Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system? No, not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They are not reasonable enough. They're not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge. Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that? I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind. So generally, you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously? They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them. But as a collective, this is an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkempt everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it. Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that? So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive. Because here, the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty. And that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today, your name is Nigeria, is simply laughable.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining everyone that has connected wherever you are. We are here for our evening section And from all indication, maybe the attack has increased, and there's nothing we can do than to do what we are supposed to do to preach the gospel, regardless the situation. So I thank everyone that have joined on this program, wherever you are joining from. I welcome you. I thank you for being part of the program. Like and share to every platform. Share to family and friends. Share to your neighbors. Share to everyone and let them know that we are here to continue to preach the gospel. We will continue to speak. We will continue to talk. We will continue to alert the Biafrans on what is going on. My lovely, wonderful Biafran people, wherever you are, I appreciate you and I thank you. Today, I have come once again to speak. Still on the same program we did in the morning on the same topic, we are going to elaborate more and speak more on that. And it says, who is the real terrorist? That is the question. Who is the real terrorist exposing Nigerian secret war against the innocent? Exposing the Nigerian secret war against the innocent. And we ask, who actually is a terrorist? You know, when we say Nigeria is a terrorist country, some people that do not understand, we think that we just come out and we form words and say, no. Every single statement we make is backed up with evidence. There are facts pointing to that. Every single statement we make, there are facts pointing to that. You can find these facts by your own verification through other media, through other sources. All we take you is just a little research, and you will see where we are coming from, and you will understand that we are not speaking out of hate, but out of concern, calling the attention of the world on what is going on in the Zoological Republic. By the way, wherever you are joining us from, you are welcome. And remember, in this platform, we don't come here to instigate violence. We do not come here to preach hate. We don't come to this platform to attack people or individuals. We don't come here to attack any race or religion. We are focused on the restoration of Biafra and the right of Biafrans to be free. That is where our focus lies. We are focused, and no amount of distraction will affect us. No amount of hatred, no amount of attack, no amount of propaganda or blackmail will make us stop doing what we are doing. Those of us that know why we came. If you think you can be able to stop off by your lying tongue, by your deceit, by your propaganda, your blackmail, you are just wasting your time. We have just started. The battle for the soul of Biafra have just started. And I bet you there are thousands and thousands of soldiers out there who are ready to fight until the last man standing. We came. When Nnamdi Kanu made a prayer and said, those who were born for this mission should come, so many of us arose. We came. Without any special invitation, without any payment, without any consultation, we came. And every single one of us took our own assignment. I chose mine, the media. And you that is watching media, you have chosen yours. I don't know what you have chosen. But whatever you have chosen, you that is watching me, whatever you have chosen, hold it and hold it tight. They are going to push lies against you. They will attack you. Your brothers, your sisters will lie against you. They will gang up against you. Prepare yourself. Wear your thick skin. At the end of the day, you'll be vindicated. At the end of the day, you will be vindicated. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you to tighten up your belt because the battle has just begun. We are dealing with a terrorist country that is unrepentant. We are dealing against the enemies of Biafra, the slave master, who are ready to pay anything to make sure they continue to hold us captive. But as you know, we have reached elastic limits, and they know it. Our enemies know that we have reached the elastic limit. That is why today they are fighting right, left, and center. Look at the case of Nnamdi Kanu, how it is going. Look at the case of our sweet Nnamdi Kanu, how it is. When you see the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the outcome of what is coming out there, when you look at it, you see it, and yet you don't know that there is danger. It means you're not human. When you see the way they are handling the case of Nnamdi Kanu, yet you are not seeing the danger ahead. It means you are not human. You don't have conscience. For those of us who can apply our common sense to everything, we have seen it coming long before now. And we will continue to bring these information to your doorstep. My fellow Biafrans, be strong. If Nnamdi Kanu could not give up in detention, why will you that is watching me, why will you give up? If Nnamdi Kanu did not give up, why would you give up? You yourself, why will you give up? Why will you give up? So every single one of us must rise up and tighten our belt and tighten it very, very hard. We must not look back. We must not look back. The battle has just begun. As Nnamdi Kanu promised that he's going to be in the front line and fight. He said it. Today he is in that front line. He has kept all his promises. What about you? What about you? Even in the face of the zoo, in the midst of the enemies, he is speaking. Every single one of us have to add our voice. Don't allow the enemies to deceive you. Don't allow the propaganda of the enemies to catch you. They can say anything they want to say. And what matters to us today is the freedom of the Biafran people, the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, and the freedom of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. And anything that will lead to their freedom, we follow it and support it 100%. I don't care where it is coming from. Because I strongly believe that the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu marks the beginning of the freedom of Biafran people. The freedom of Simon Ekpa marks the beginning of the freedom of Biafran people. And we must pursue their freedom by all means necessary. Every single one of us should rise up, stand up, and do what we have to do. The zoological republic that the British created to cage people have failed. Nigeria is a failed state. The whole world knows this. Everyone knows it. It is not a blackmail, not a propaganda, not just a mere word that Nigeria has failed. And no matter what you do, no matter how you try to pretend, it has failed. And remember, our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and our Prime Minister does not support anything called coup, like those of them who are happy. They are talking about coup. If you like, let military take over. If you like, let anybody take over. We don't want to be part of the Zoological Republic. It is final. We don't want to be part of the Zoological Republic. They can continue to cook up their coup, plan their coup, this and coup that. We are not interested. We are not interested. We are out of the zoo and we are out for good. And there is nothing that will bring us back to the zoo. Nnamdi Kanu has made it clear. And we are gone. When he said it, in case they didn't understand it, our Prime Minister went further to conduct a referendum. The Prime Minister conducted a referendum. And in that referendum, we have more than almost 60 million Biafrans voted. And it is not a child's play. And if Nigeria feels that they are not satisfied with that referendum, they should conduct theirs. Let them go ahead and conduct their own referendum. They should go ahead, conduct their own referendum. If they are not satisfied with what we have, Nigerian government should go and conduct theirs. Because we are going out. And nothing will bring us back into the zoo. And gone for good. Wherever you are as a Biafran, you must continue to prepare yourself, align yourself, and remove yourself from anything that has to do with Nigeria. Remove yourself from it. Remove yourself from it for your life's sake. Because Nigeria is a symbol of death. Associating with Nigeria means associating with death. Association with Nigeria is association of death. Nigeria is a bad news. And people in Nigeria has ended up in becoming evil themselves. You heard about the revocation of the visa of Wole Soyinka, and all of them are shouting human rights, talking jabraba, talking rubbish. Including Wole Soyinka and every of them that claim to be elite. All their visas should be revoked. Let them remain in Nigeria and make it work. Because these are the people who promoted what you have today. They supported it. Why would anybody be crying for their visa being revoked? Why he was busy insulting Trump when Trump got to power, even when his own country is worst. He was busy speaking grammar on Trump. Meanwhile, a drug baron took over his own country. He didn't do anything. Instead, he supported. Invited him a speech. He went and gave a speech. Wole Soyinka supported a man that rigged the election, bought election, that didn't win. And today, the US revoke your visa. You want everybody to be shouting and crying for that. And look at the people who are talking. Look at Ahmed Gumi. Gumi? Look at what Gumi is. Gumi, the chief terrorist of Nigeria, supporting Wole Soyinka. The chief terrorist of Nigeria, Gumi, said, you can't silence us. Ahmed Gumi condemned US revocation of Soyinka's visa. The same Ahmed Gumi that Saudi Arabia deported from Saudi. They didn't want him to enter their country. Saudi sent him back because he's a terrorist. Now he's bringing mud to the US. You can't silence us. Why wouldn't you support Wole Soyinka? These are people that are also pushing the Islamization of Nigeria, directly and indirectly, because of their tribal affiliation today with the government. Because of their own personal interest and friendship with Tinubu, even though they know he's a drug baron and didn't win the election, he's supporting him. Every single individual that calls himself elite that has a visa to US is supposed to be revoked. In fact, they are all supposed to be banned from entering US. Any elite, anyone that calls himself elite on any level, to an extent, even the businessmen, they are supposed to be banned from entering the US. Yes, all of them are supposed to be banned. It's not supposed to be a topic for discussion because Nigeria is evil. The elites are evil. The politicians are evil. These are people that are feeding from the blood of the innocent. Every now and again, they promote and support evil for their own selfish interests. They were there. Everyone already knows that Tinubu is the most corrupt politician in Nigeria. A man who is a drug baron. From drug baron, he smuggled his way into the governance. Stole away the entire wealth of Lagos State and hold Lagos State ransom to today. Was able to buy his way into Asarok. And these people that claim to be intelligent were all there watching. They were all there speaking grammar and watching. The US is not doing enough. The US has not done enough. They are supposed to ban every single politician. Every elite in Nigeria is supposed to be banned. All their visas revoked. Those that have citizenship revoked. They should be in their country. Repair their country if they want to. They have no business flying abroad for any reason. Now, people can hold virtual meetings. People can hold meetings online on Zoom. So even if they have anything to do with the US, they should stay in their country there and speak in the Zoom. Have a Zoom meeting. They got no business flying abroad, more especially for medical care. Because these are a bunch of criminals, every one of them. We were there when we had the rumor of their coup. There's a coup in Nigeria. And they denied it. Some of them came, they say there's no coup. Oh, coup did not happen. As always, they came out and said there is no coup. Coup did not happen. But today, we are seeing a different thing altogether. We are seeing arrests continue and people stay running around because of that coup. They don't want to talk about it. But we will continue to expose them. And why they don't want to mention it is because they know that the Igbo people are not involved. If that coup was carried out by Igbo, if there was to be an Igbo name there, you will hear the announcement, another Igbo coup happening in Nigeria. That is going to be the title of the whole newspaper. In all their news house, you will see another coup, another Igbo coup. A coup happened in Nigeria. They don't want to mention it. They don't want to call the names of people who are involved because they want to keep it low. But if it were to be, if a Biafran name had to appear there, they will paste it in all places. All media will carry it. Oh, Igbos are doing and that coup, Igbo coup. But in this particular one, they deny it. But we are going to be following them in all their madness in the Zoological Republic. No matter how they hide it, we will see it. We will expose it. We will make comment on it. And we will help the world to understand the going on in the Zoological Republic. We will not allow them to sweep it under the carpet. Never. No matter how they try to hide it, we will continue to expose their madness. We will continue to expose them. The more they hide it, the more we bring it to the public to see what the zoo is made up of. We will never allow them to sweep any issue under the carpet. And I want us to listen to this. Let us hear what they are saying in their media.
And this whole thing is getting traction by the day. At a point, we heard information that, look, there was nothing like that. But a few days later, we see arrests being made, including a former governor who was also ex-former minister of state petroleum resources to meet with Silva. They searched his home in Abuja, his home in Biafra, like his younger brother or brother father has been arrested. And we also have rumors that he might be on the run. What do you make of this development given within the context of there was no coup by the staff chief of defense staff, and the fact that we are hearing that some military officers have been arrested and investigations are ongoing? Can you help us untie, some of those discrepancies within?
Let me start by saying that even before the news broke out, it was rumored that there was a coup, but the report made credence to that fact. And as at that time, arrests had been made before that report came. So it was difficult for the Directorate of Information in the military to outrightly deny. What they were saying was that they made arrests routinely for certain investigation that is not related to. But let's take it that they said there's no coup. But for what end are we having arrests? So it's information coming in lately has shown that there was actually an attempt. We won't say a coup, but an attempt coup. And when you look at the pattern of coups in Nigeria, either successful ones, unsuccessful ones, there is usually some civilian element, okay, in some of these coups. You recall the was it Gideon local coup, where it was straight to Great Ogboru's fish farm, and there were some coups in the past, in the 70s and 80s, that were linked to now late Femke. So most of these coups are linked to civilians because of two things. Most who are executed by middle level officers in the military. They only drag top senior officers into it. And those at that level of captain, majors, lieutenant colonels, they don't have the financial capacity to execute a coup. So they needed civilian collaborators that would provide funding. And that is the allegation against Silva now, that
He might have bankrolled.
he might have bankrolled these unsuccessful attempts at toppling. Now, as it is today, there are many colorations to this related political, ethnic, and even some bringing in religion into it. Political in the sense that opposition may also have a hand in this. Religious, said the preponderance of the 13 arrested are Muslims. Then ethnic, except for one from Imo State that was mentioned, and another one, the rest are northerners.
Now talking about the preponderance of officers from the north, and also the religious coloration to it all. 13 of them, you said, are Muslim, but we also have a Muslim president and vice president. That's on one side of it. Majority of them are from the north. Does it look like a continuation of some kind of discontent?
You see, majority of the people that are involved in this coup are from the north. Why are they not calling it northern coup? I bet you, can you imagine what they would have said if this coup were to be carried out by names that are Biafran names, Igbo names? You can imagine what their media will be saying if the names that appear on that coup were to be Igbo names. You see how they are talking about it? that all the officers are from the northern part of Nigeria and they are all Muslims. With only one, they say from Imo State, and that one from Imo State, his parents might be Muslim. Because we know that many of them in Imo State, they are Muslims, and they are from the north, their parents are from the north. Why are they not calling it Northern coup? And you see how they are dying it, how they are betting it, because the people who conducted this coup. And that is why they don't want to mention, that's why they don't want to publicize it. That is why they sweep it under the carpet. But could you imagine what they would have done if their name were to be Igbo names?
Coming from the north against the current administration, you know, the north has been kicking, you know, for the past year, in fact 2 years, since the life of this administration. Since this administration made 6 months, the north has been kicking. You know, you have pushed us out. We have been just changed. You know, we are not getting our due. Does it have anything to do with the political angle to it? Like, the north trying to, there is this on the side what you are raising. The north are still active. An average northerner is not counting the number of years the northerners has ruled since independence. When they want to talk, they will start from 1999. And as if you are erasing history altogether. And they will say, out of 26 years of the Fourth Republic, they said they have only experienced 10. Buhari 8, Yar'Adua 2. And the rest, 16. By the time this administration ends next year, it will be 18 out of 28 years. So they feel that there must be a balance. And so, another thing again is, take away governance, political office from northerners. They hardly feel comfortable. Okay. All right. Governance. Okay. All right. Before we go to our online guests, you know, who have joined us from our station, there's one in Benin City. Let's have their take, Mr. Somi Uranta, on this. The issue of this coup. What's the reaction? Do you think it has anything to, you know, do with the politics of it? Like Mr. Fanning was saying, is it a north-south divide of the thing? They're not trying to catch up, you know, with the south. And if they do that, how would that, you know, help them in trying to create a balance in the number of years between the north and the south?
You know, as for me, when this rumor started gaining traction from the onset, I was looking at it. Then every other day, you see things, activities, actions being taken, you know, to give credence to that rumor, to the point where we are today. But my concern is that in this whole scenario, what is the reason behind it? What would be the possible reason behind that kind of action?
That was the next thing. What is really happening? Why are we going to a school when we've gotten that, looking at the political space, the APC ruling party actually have like 30, or by 2026, according to what someone projected, will have 30 governors. In the National Assembly, the Senate to be precise, they have 2/3. So when people are moving over to the party, how come we're getting a plot?
You see, when there is satisfaction, I really do not even see see it from the point of view where my colleague here, Mr. Dele Fanimo, was looking at it. I'm looking at it from the area of, you know, the life of the average Nigerian. How have they fared before, now, and now? And I may even want to jump the ship to say that whatever thing that is the cause of it, which I don't want to start hazarding any guess, democracy must come with dividends to the people. And there is no matter. Recently now, I've seen how there's been changes in the security architecture of the country. But that is not, you know, a panacea. It's not something that will stop any action. What we need is a people-focused governance. Nigerians are suffering, that is the truth. So, politicians don't learn any lesson. They don't learn. If you check from what has led to different push actions, from is it the one in the 60s, in the 70s, and all through the 80s, you find out that during Shagari time, somebody said Nigerians are eating from the dustbin. Somebody said it's a lie. But if you look at life then, we're in paradise then. Today, look at the average Nigerian. The 1 naira you with 1,000 naira you have cannot buy you food from a buka by the roadside. So Nigerians are disaffected. So the only way out is for the government now to begin to look at beyond the changing, the tweaking, tweaking the architecture, is to quickly rally around and start giving Nigerians hope, real practical hope that they can take home.
Thank you so much for your submission, Mr. Samir Ranta. Let's take the conversation to Comrade Chris Ojekere, who is the public affairs analyst and a political commentator. He joined us from our Benin studios. Good morning, Comrade Chris Ojekere. Good to have you join today's conversation. Now, what do you make of the particular news that we just heard about soldiers invading the house of the former governor, Sibibre Silva? And just suppose over the fact that before now, Nigerians were talking about the cabinet and how it should be rejigged. And, we didn't really see much coming up. I'm talking about especially when it gets to the ones in charge of the security architecture. Nothing really happened much. But suddenly, during the Independence Day, we learned that we're having to have a low-key, no parade. Some people come up to say that was because there was going to be a queue and all that. We don't really know about it. And the government, or rather the president, have come up to deny such statement saying there's nothing like that. But suddenly today, we're getting another information that someone's house has been invaded. 16 top officers also arrested. And it was on Friday that we saw, a rejigging or reshuffling of the cabinet. Help us actually walk around this place.
I'll start like this. This is the price on incompetence and opacity that you can never get to pin down any consistency with respect to information dissemination, for their action. I'm happy that you have continued to use the word there, which is what it is, that it was a rumor. And it says a rumor because the government hasn't given any official, any formal announcement that they carried out that raid. And the man in whose house the raid was carried out, we haven't heard from him. We haven't heard from him with respect to all the rumor about the coup or his involvement with the coup. Now, so we are operating in the realm of speculation. When the rumor started, the government official, and now the government hasn't come back formally that there was a coup attempt and that these are the steps that have been taken, which includes this raid. Now, assuming without conceding that there was a coup attempt, why has the government suddenly become a bit of the people's anger and split? That's the question that should worry the government, and who I refer to as the protector boy wanted to take it from. Why has the government become a victim of the people's anger? That's what the government should worry about. Groups and advocates are planning to shut down the National Assembly. We are told that in the National Assembly there's a threat that civilians are willing to mobilize the military against the government of the state. Why is the government now a victim of the people's anger? You see, government must be and victim. Why should we have this regime? One of the sing songs in Nigeria, which was appreciated by us in Nigeria, is how well we have been able to manage our democracy from 1999 up until 2023. We became very proud of our democracy. Something years democracy suddenly under threat. When you break down institutions that strengthen democracy, when you attack the judiciary, and people no longer feel that they have a place for the threat. When you attack the government and introduce military into a civilian African and democratic in Rivers State. I said it and I wrote an article about it in Rivers State. I said, those who bring and to the not complain of fly. If you begin as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, democratically elected, to democratically elected government in the sub-unit and introduce ex-military generals to come and be back. Then you are showing the cookie jar somewhere, and they become interested in it. So if there was a coup, assuming again without considering, then the president should blame himself for reintroducing the military back to the civilian setting and letting them know that they are more trusted to handle politically, political issues in Rivers State than they, the civilian setting. The government should have watched on the victim of the anger of the people and sit up to their right. Some places are not diverse. So if you look at the of all more, you don't have only 16 people involved in any coup. And it's been on for about 3 weeks. Only 16 people have still been arrested. I mean, look at it of coup. So this is a jamboree, this is a diversion which the government is trying to, orchestrate so as to divert us away from its failure. So the government should ask themselves, why are the pro-government? Why are they directing their anger at the government if actually there was anything like a coup plot?
So let me understand your position. Let me understand your communication. Are you saying this is diversionary? That there probably wasn't any, and government is just trying to whip up sentiment? Or are you saying the people are aggrieved, and that's the reason there might be something like a coup? I'm trying to understand your position.
I'm saying both. I'm saying that if it comes out from our state and give us clarity about who planned the coup.
Now, why would you think that government would deny such if there was something like that? Why would government deny and say, oh no, there was nothing like this, but then we are seeing arrests being made? I mean, when the news about 16 soldiers came up, there was also the news about some governors, some former governors being part of it. And now we hear that the house of Tinipri Silva was raided. So help us understand why there will be that denial and arrest will be basically buttressing the rumor that there was probably a coup. Why would government deny? Is it not to instigate further possibility or further happenings in the future? Or to paint a picture that all is well.
There is nothing that helps citizens to trust this in clarity. You have a badly written script that was poorly thought out, and then everybody wasn't carried along about the script. And so you have officials of government not aware of what the script was. You could have denial, and then you're having actions contradicting those denials in another context from the same government. So you have a if it was badly written, everybody wasn't carried along. Now, if it is, that's why I say, assuming without consistency, if it is real, then the actions being carried out would have been more pronounced. We would have seen much more people arrested, would have got much more details, and they were all coming up with formally from government. They would let in the rumor, in the realm of speculations and rumors. The fact now is that government has allowed for sodomy and conspiracy theories because the government has not shown them. So whatever theory anybody is putting out there is acceptable because once you have a rumor in space and the government is giving credence to certain actions that are completely unexplainable to the citizens, then you accept that it's being put out there. So there are several theories. We are working on all the theories. As far as the science is over, get going here. And if there is, if the government thinks that there is, let them show us more people involved. Let them tell us how they planned it. Let them give us. Let them show us. Not just 16 military officers. The 16 military officers alone cannot plan coup. The way the army is structured and the way coup intentions are structured. Before you get to the point of arrest, then there would have been so many people involved. So I think the government has this road very badly and it's giving it out, creating more conflict. diverting the Nigerian people from what they should be doing. I mean, but I can't understand why he would stand a coup against the party president, but the president of the APC. It was in the last regime, Tinubu was the one who, Buhari. So they are they are allowed to go to president. So what does Biafra to gain by plotting a coup when he's part of that ruling house, when he's part of that political party? So it's all very, very senseless. I think the government has to come out cleaner and let us know why all this is perpetrating us. Look,
all right then. Thank you very much, Comrade Chris Ojekere. So, government really should save Nigerians the stress of having to. You think it might be this or that, but with history that comes with this money, with the aid of history, we've seen how coups were carried out in the past and how announcements are. I mean, basically, some other people within the military may not even know until there's an announcement on radio Nigeria specifically, that government has been taken over by certain individuals, and that's it. And then that's how information is here. But now that we have information everywhere, I mean, you can just get news from bloggers and just Instagram and the rest of them. Do you think coups can succeed in Nigeria?
Well, the little I know is that as the forces of the law keep changing the law as much as we experience certain things that are non-part of our culture, the same way the criminals also evolves. The criminal will always evolve once in one way or the other. And so, I'm sure most Nigerians will say because of the proliferation of radio stations, TV stations, that where we do announce that will be effective. But the military will always involve the time and the dynamics of the society. From the snippets we got from reports out there from other sources, any coup that will be planned now will not be the scale of coup that IDB planned to remove Buhari from office. No, it was said to be bloodless. Some said Allah's coup and all that. But any coup that will be planned now, because of this proliferation and diverse nature, is likely to result to mutiny. And we are told, after the arrest of this man, that they have earmarked some top politically exposed people for elimination. And that is bordering on mutiny. And so that's why any right-thinking Nigerian should detest and discourage a coup. Because any coup that snowballs into mutiny, mass killing, would already, it's like we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Imagine a section of the country planning a coup and targeting another section of the country. Already, the ethnic lineage, cleavages had already been established.
So we might just see repeats of the Civil War if care is not taken.
Right, something greater than the Civil War.
And that's not what
we pray for now. And that's not what we wish. So it is better for us, as well-meaning Nigerians, to denounce this. Because sometimes you may know the beginning of a crisis.
You may not know the end of it.
Yes.
All right, now let's look at information available to us and how to help government act better. Coming to you now, Mr. Baranta. Now, service chiefs were changed. We saw that those that were removed have been given some juicy package. $60,000 as announced, $60,000 medicals, bulletproof car, $6,000 annually, bulletproof car. The previous ones were giving $20,000, bulletproof car and all of that. Now, with the information of how a certain part of the country is involved in this, we've seen the chief of defense staff being changed. Some have said, it's the president wants his own kinsman there to protect his interests, which of course, I mean, it's not out of place if you feel there are threats to your reign. Is this the end? Has this been nipped in the bud? Is there a possibility that there might be something else? What can government do to ensure that the people are not, aggrieved to the point where they will call for such? Because during the hunger, the protests, end bad governance, people were calling itself. And I would like, as you respond,
just trying.
And walked out of that. They didn't. It didn't go down with the national assembly. But he met. He met. Niazari. That was
Job. Went ahead. Was shut down. A military man who wanted. It is good. Listen.
because they know nothing that you are going to get to happen. You don't have. We don't have somebody here. Want that terrain and all of that. So shouldn't we use them? So listen very well. Light. We can who is where? No, you hold on. When these guys are going to the war front, now they don't go with them. Their own. Don't tell me that every time they are trying bomb terrorists hide out. Million. No, it was not. Some Chinese are Indian to bring to I don't know what happened. This them to black something that was in I will have but what I'm attention. Yeah, the government is that the no Buhari want and so because the way they were enemies, the people that are begging them. So most time, this you know that when the one is good, how many times have they used orchestrate unique? Military. Let's talk. Now there's for the sake of this content. Need to have of the All of them, and then of this is not. So, I believe there was because there was that the main that was, if they to publish of who you know clearly says right APC does that of course. So what do you think will happen in 2027? Now that the coup has failed, they will still make another attempt with the ballot or with the gun. With both. Okay, no, barrister, you never can say. No. Well, let's talk about the ballot. Let's leave the gun. The ballot is already settled. Tinubu will not get the number of votes he got in the last time from the north. He will not get it. They have told him. And so they will try the other means. That's why I've been telling them that, look, it's not about reshuffling your military chief and all that. It's about good governance. Okay. Yes, but what constitutes good governance? Most of us, we can sit down here and criticize Tinubu and then, challenge him. But when you talk about good governance, operators of this government have always said that, look, if you look at the numbers, that the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has done more for the north than the south.
You see, why I play some of these videos is for you to know what is going in Nigeria, because this is a place where we are coming out from. We have to bring what is happening there to the world. When you see them speak, you see how their government is being run in Nigeria, how they support and sponsor terrorism, how they use force to win election, how they impose themselves, how some people believe that they are born to rule, how some people can just go different. When we see by and city, they went there and Malay means another accident. Literally, will not
years now that this, what are they fighting? When you are there, you don't, we have spent over 2 trillion. What is what you want to the country are they the best and when you get you know they to fight people. Is it not most all the whole world? Terrorists are fighting America. You can't every time. I don't know to be on their own because they don't like
to be on our own. This is why we're comfortable with this terrorism anymore. Biafrans. Really, the Mazen front has made that he's to good thing that he does has Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave Nigeria the ball. As the day go by, you will begin to understand. Before we close this program, I want us to listen to this. I want us to listen to this information before we close the program. Let us pay attention to what this man has to say. Very, very important. Let's pay attention and hear what this guy has to say.
The kind of case is not the kind of case you would like to dabble into. Take your own decision and maybe give a verdict. If you do that, one, there may be international backlash on you. There may be national backlash on you. That might also be a professional backlash on you. And like I said the other day when I was trying to give my advice, because I said I said just some Motosha still relatively a young man who has a lot of future at the bench. In fact, God willing on his side, he might reach the Supreme Court. But this Nnamdi Kanu's case has a propensity of either destroying a judge or elevating a judge. I mean, either way, you can choose any of the options. Because remember, Motosha is not the first person that this case was assigned to. The other judges were assigned to that who refused. And like I say here most of the time, that when judges will go for election tribunal where politicians destroy judges anyhow, like through bribery. I keep on saying now that it is voluntary. If you want to go, you fill the form and say, I want to go to election tribunal. I told you, any judge who is going to election tribunal, is there something he's looking for? He is looking for something. So, because under recent judges may not like to go there. So, any judge who dabbles into Nnamdi Kanu's case must guard his lions very, very well. You must guard your lions, because while you are discussing a case in court, the same case is being discussed in the hallowed temple of politicians in Russia. That's right. It's being discussed in hallowed temples of politicians in the United States. The same matter you are handling in court. That's why I say, whichever judge wants to take up now, they must be extra circumspect what he's going to do.
Did you hear that? That message is expressly delivered. Everybody to meditate over. You can go and watch it over and over again. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is a bone in the neck of Nigeria. Likewise, for every lawyer that will handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu, the case will either make you or destroy you. The case of our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu will either make a judge or destroy that judge. We are watching a motor show. You see Nnamdi Kanu take his bold step. Whatever decision they take, it is for our own good. Nnamdi Kanu have said no case, and it is on the table of the judge to take decisions. They try to convince Nnamdi Kanu to enter a case. Nnamdi Kanu said no case. So we are watching to see what is going to be the outcome on the 4th. We are here. We are going nowhere. I appreciate everyone that have been with us on this program. May Chukwu come and protect you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for liking. May Chukwu come and protect everyone that have participated. And we pray that Chukwu will guide and protect our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Simon. I appreciate every one of you once again. Thank you for being here. No weapon formed or fashioned against you shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leader shall prosper. Thank you and stay blessed. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow morning by the grace of Chukwu Kabiam. Remember blessed.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, I go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they here they run to? Move it up. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, the EJ love. Something on the smell. Very soon now we go perceive. We have up where this government they cause na time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it up. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.